Margaret Thompson walked into my Chicago clinic on a crisp Tuesday morning, looking as healthy as someone half her age. At 67, she had rosy cheeks, bright eyes, and the confident stride of someone who believes she was invincible. 30 minutes later, she left with a diagnosis that would change her life forever: severe coronary artery disease, dangerously elevated blood pressure, and arteries so blocked that she was literally walking on borrowed time. The most shocking part: she felt completely fine. This scenario plays out in my cardiology practice almost daily. As Dr. James Mitchell, with over 25 years of experience treating cardiovascular disease, I've witnessed countless seniors who arrive feeling perfectly normal, only to discover they're teetering on the edge of a cardiac catastrophe. The cruel reality is that most don't realize they're engaging in behaviors that are silently destroying their hearts with each passing day. After decades of treating heart disease, I've identified 10 critical habits that dramatically increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, and sudden cardiac death in people over 60. These aren't rare conditions or complex medical mysteries. They're everyday choices that millions of seniors make without understanding the deadly consequences. The encouraging news is that every single one of these heart-threatening behaviors can be modified or eliminated entirely. You simply need to understand what's harming you and what to do instead. Let me share with you the 10 most dangerous habits I encounter in my practice. Starting with one that seems harmless but could be shortening your life without you even knowing it. The 10th most dangerous habit I observe is the complete abandonment of daily physical movement. Robert Chen, a 64-year-old retired accountant, exemplifies this perfectly. After retiring, he settled into a routine of morning television, afternoon reading, and evening computer games. His longest walk was from his bedroom to his kitchen. What Robert didn't understand was that his sedentary lifestyle was essentially issuing an invitation to cardiovascular disaster. When you remain stationary for extended periods, your blood circulation becomes sluggish, allowing fatty deposits to accumulate in your arterial walls. Your heart muscle weakens from disuse, and your blood pressure begins to climb steadily. Over time, this leads to heart failure, stroke, or even sudden death. The human cardiovascular system is designed for movement, and when we deny it that movement, it begins to deteriorate rapidly. I'm not suggesting you need to become a marathon runner or spend hours at the gym. What I'm advocating for is something much simpler yet incredibly powerful: daily walking. Just 30 minutes of moderate-paced walking can reduce your heart attack risk by nearly half. This doesn't require expensive equipment, gym memberships, or special training. It's free, accessible, and one of the most potent medicines available for your cardiovascular system. Walking keeps your blood vessels flexible and open, improves oxygen delivery to your brain, and significantly reduces stress hormones that damage your heart. It also helps control weight, blood sugar levels, and cholesterol, all major threats to cardiac health. Even splitting this into two 15-minute sessions, one in the morning and one in the evening, provides substantial protection for your heart and can add years to your life. Please don't wait until you experience chest pain or shortness of breath to start moving. Prevention begins today, with the first step you take outside your door. The 9th deadly habit involves something that's hiding in plain sight in most kitchens: excessive sodium consumption. Linda Davis, a 72-year-old grandmother, prided herself on cooking from scratch and rarely added salt to her meals. Yet her blood pressure readings were dangerously high, and she couldn't understand why. The culprit wasn't the salt shaker. It was the hidden sodium lurking in seemingly innocent foods like canned soups, bread, sauces, pickled vegetables, crackers, and processed foods. Most people over 60 don't realize how dangerous excess sodium can be for their cardiovascular system. When you consume too much salt, your body retains excess water, which increases your blood volume and puts tremendous pressure on your arterial walls. Over time, this leads to hypertension, which silently damages your heart, kidneys, and brain. Blood pressure is often called the silent killer because it produces no symptoms until it's too late. I've treated patients who developed heart failure simply because they were eating salty snacks every day for years. The aging body requires significantly less sodium than younger bodies, no more than 1,500 milligrams daily, which is less than 3/4 of a teaspoon. The solution involves becoming a detective with food labels, avoiding processed foods whenever possible, and preparing meals at home, using herbs, spices, and lemon juice for flavor. Even small changes like choosing unsalted nuts instead of salted ones, or avoiding frozen dinners, can provide significant protection for your heart. Your taste buds will adapt within 2 weeks, and your food will taste just as delicious while your heart functions much better. The 8th dangerous habit centers around what should be the most important meal of your day: breakfast. Instead of fueling your body for success, many seniors unknowingly create a recipe for cardiac disaster. Thomas Wilson's typical morning meal consisted of bacon, sausage, buttered toast, sugary cereal, fried eggs, and coffee loaded with cream. While this combination might taste appealing, it was systematically destroying his cardiovascular system. These breakfast choices are loaded with saturated fats, trans fats, and sugar that spike cholesterol levels, elevate blood pressure, and cause inflammation throughout your blood vessels. As a cardiologist, I've observed a disturbing pattern. The majority of heart attacks occur in the morning. Shortly after people consume these types of heavy, fatty breakfasts, your blood is naturally thicker in the morning hours, and consuming a meal high in fats makes it even more difficult for your heart to pump effectively. If you're over 60, your body simply cannot handle this daily cardiovascular stress. Instead of starting your day with a cardiac time bomb, choose heart protective options like oatmeal with berries, boiled eggs, whole grain toast with avocado, or a simple fruit smoothie. These alternatives actually reduce cholesterol levels, improve digestion, and provide sustained energy without stressing your arteries. Your breakfast can either heal or harm. Make the right choice the moment you wake up, and your heart will remain safer throughout the entire day. The seventh habit that's particularly dangerous for seniors is regular alcohol consumption. You've probably heard that a glass of wine is good for your heart, but for people over 60, this advice can be deadly. After age 60, your body processes alcohol much more slowly, your blood pressure rises more quickly, and your risk of irregular heartbeats increases dramatically. Sarah Martinez, a 69-year-old retired teacher, believed her nightly 2 glasses of wine were helping her heart and helping her sleep better. Instead, she developed heart failure, atrial fibrillation, and required emergency treatment. Alcohol damages your heart muscle, increases fat accumulation around your heart, and triggers inflammation throughout your cardiovascular system. It also interferes with medications for blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol. Many seniors drink to relax or improve their sleep, but alcohol actually disrupts sleep patterns and increases nighttime blood pressure. Even small amounts accumulate over time and become increasingly dangerous. If you already have heart disease, alcohol becomes even more hazardous to your health. While I always recommend stopping completely, if you must drink, limit yourself to no more than 1 drink per day, and never drink daily. Your heart will beat stronger, your sleep will improve, and your overall health will dramatically increase. Alcohol might temporarily numb your stress, but it weakens your heart. Don't let a daily glass become a lifetime regret. The 6th deadly habit involves something that might surprise you: harboring stress, anger, and emotional pain. Holding on to your stress, anger, or sadness might seem like emotional strength, but it's actually inflicting profound damage on your cardiovascular system. Emotional tension elevates cortisol and adrenaline levels, causing your heart to race, your blood vessels to constrict, and your blood pressure to spike dangerously. Over time, this chronic emotional stress leads to heart attacks, strokes, and even sudden cardiac death. I've treated patients with perfect diets who still suffered from severe heart disease, all because they lived with constant emotional pressure. Whether it's family problems, financial worries, or loneliness, suppressing these feelings damages your body in ways you can't see. Seniors often tell me, "I don't want to burden anyone, or I've lived with stress my whole life." But after 60, your heart cannot handle this silent emotional storm. The solution involves talking to someone you trust, joining a senior support group, meditating for just 10 minutes daily, practicing deep breathing exercises, or even writing in a journal to reduce stress levels. Never underestimate how dangerous emotional pain can be for your physical health. Your heart isn't just a pump, it feels what your mind holds on to. Inner peace is powerful medicine. The more you release your emotions in healthy ways, the longer and stronger your heart will continue beating. The 5th habit that many seniors ignore involves sleep apnea and snoring. Snoring might seem harmless or even amusing, but it can actually be the sound of your heart struggling to survive. Sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops during sleep, affects millions of seniors and causes dangerous drops in oxygen levels, interrupted rest, and long-term damage to your cardiovascular system. Most people don't even know they have sleep apnea. They feel tired during the day, wake up with headaches, or experience memory problems, but never connect these symptoms to their sleep quality. As a cardiologist, I always ask my patients about snoring because sleep apnea dramatically increases the risk of high blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, and sudden cardiac death. If your partner tells you that you snore loudly, gasp, or stop breathing during sleep, get evaluated immediately. A simple overnight sleep study can confirm the diagnosis. Treatments like CPAP machines or oral appliances can protect your heart throughout the night. Quality sleep is when your body repairs itself. Without it, your heart suffers silently. Don't ignore the warning signs. Snoring isn't just noise, it's your heart crying out for oxygen all night long. Fix your sleep, and your heart will finally be able to rest and recover properly. The 4th habit is one everyone knows is dangerous, yet many seniors still underestimate: smoking or exposure to secondhand smoke. While everyone understands that smoking is deadly, many people over 60 still don't grasp how dangerous even one cigarette or exposure to someone else's smoke can be for their cardiovascular system. Smoking doesn't just affect your lungs, It directly damages the lining of your arteries, causes inflammation, and accelerates the buildup of plaque, leading to blocked arteries and heart attacks. If you're over 60, your blood vessels are already more fragile, and smoking makes them brittle and narrow. I've treated patients who never smoked but lived with someone who did, and they still developed heart disease. There is no safe level of smoke exposure. Even if you've smoked for 40 years, quitting now can still reverse some damage and significantly reduce your risk within months. Don't fall for the trap of light cigarettes or vaping. They're equally harmful to your cardiovascular system. Your heart deserves clean oxygen and clean blood. Every puff of smoke is like punching your heart. If you're struggling to quit, talk to your doctor, join a support group, or use nicotine patches. The most powerful step you can take for your heart today is to say, I quit. Your body will begin healing tomorrow. The third habit involves something most people do every evening: using phones or watching television late at night. Screen use late at night might seem harmless, but it's silently increasing your cardiac risk. The blue light from phones and televisions disrupts your body's melatonin production, a hormone that regulates sleep. Poor sleep leads to higher nighttime blood pressure, insulin resistance, and stress on your heart. Seniors often browse their phones before bed or leave the television on for company, but this habit confuses your body's natural rhythm. As a cardiologist, I've observed that poor sleep is a major trigger for heart attacks, strokes, and atrial fibrillation. It's not just the light, it's the mental stimulation. News, social media, and movies can elevate stress hormones, increase heart rate, and keep your brain alert when it should be resting. Over time, this disrupts your heart's recovery during sleep. I always recommend turning off all screens at least 1 hour before bedtime. Instead, read a book, listen to calming music, or do gentle stretches. Your sleep will improve, and your heart will thank you. Remember, nighttime is when your heart heals. Don't deprive it of this crucial recovery time. Better sleep equals a better, stronger heart. The second most dangerous habit involves eating fast food or fried snacks frequently. Fast food and fried snacks might be convenient, but they're lethal for your cardiovascular system. These foods are packed with trans fats, saturated fats, and sodium, all of which damage your arteries systematically. Seniors often grab a burger, fried chicken, French fries, or other fried foods thinking it's just one meal, but each bite increases cholesterol, causes inflammation, and thickens your blood. I've seen heart attacks caused by years of just occasional fast food consumption. Your arteries become clogged, stiff, and narrow, making it harder for blood to flow properly. This forces your heart to work overtime until one day it simply cannot continue. If you're over 60, your metabolism has slowed down and your heart has become more sensitive to these dietary assaults. Fast food provides zero nutritional value, but maximum damage to your cardiovascular system. Choose baked, boiled, or grilled options instead. Snack on fruits, nuts, or homemade soups. Even small swaps like air-fried foods instead of deep-fried make an enormous difference. What you eat becomes your blood. If your food is greasy, your blood becomes thick too. Thick blood means blocked arteries, and blocked arteries mean heart attacks. You cannot build a strong heart with weak food. Say goodbye to fried temptations and give your heart a real chance to thrive. The most dangerous habit I encounter in my practice, and unfortunately the most common, is ignoring high blood pressure or skipping medications. Many seniors feel fine and stop taking their blood pressure medications, but high blood pressure is truly a silent killer. You won't feel symptoms until it's already damaging your heart, brain, and kidneys. Skipping medications, even for just a few days, can cause dangerous spikes that lead to heart attacks or strokes. I've treated patients who collapsed because their medications ran out or they didn't think they needed them anymore. Your medication isn't a suggestion, it's a lifeline that's keeping you alive. If you experience side effects, don't stop taking your medication. Instead, talk to your doctor about adjusting the dosage. Monitor your blood pressure regularly at home. Keep a daily log. Take your medication at the same time every day and use pill organizers or reminders. Consistency is absolutely critical. For your survival, high blood pressure thickens your heart muscle, narrows your arteries, and leads to heart failure. But it's completely controllable if you take it seriously. Don't gamble with your life. One pill per day can protect you from years of suffering and potentially save your life. Your heart has been beating for you every second of your life without asking for anything in return. But after 60, it needs your support more than ever before. Every habit you maintain now, every meal you choose, every walk you take, it all adds up to determine whether you'll live with vitality or struggle with cardiovascular disease. As a cardiologist, I've seen too many patients ignore small signs and small warnings until it was too late. But you have the power to change this trajectory, starting today. Begin by eliminating just one dangerous habit from your routine immediately, then slowly work on addressing the others. Your heart doesn't need perfection, it needs consistency, care, and your attention. It's never too late to start healing. Your heart has carried you this far. Now it's time for you to carry it safely into your golden years. The choice, and the power to change, is entirely in your hands.